I think there's something very unique in a child. Children can grow and they can change over time and they can learn. And when we become an adult, we don't really do that anymore as much. I think the Lord put me in a place where I could be a child again. I'm Angela Morgan. I'm a house parent here at French Camp Academy, and this is my story. I was born in Memphis, Tennessee, to parents that were drug addicts when I was born. My parents weren't married yet. They got married shortly after my birth and had an older brother and eventually 3 younger siblings. We spent significant time with my parents and in foster care. The state would get involved sometimes and take us for a while. My parents would get back on their feet. It was kind of a cycle that we went through over and over. I was at a school and saw this dance troupe come through, and I thought, I want to do that. And so I auditioned, and it was the worst audition she had ever seen, but she still accepted me into the program. And so I started at that school, and the Commercial Appeal decided to run an article on my story. A gentleman read the paper, and eventually that led to him contacting me and eventually asking me if I would like to come to French Camp. I struggled with identity. I believed that I was a daughter of drug addicts, and it just kind of built from there to this very ugly picture of who I was. When I came to French Camp, that drastically changed. I was placed in Carolyn and Russ Akers' dorm. Carolyn's attitude was, you have no excuses. You are not your parents, and you don't have to do a single thing that they've done. She outlawed all my excuses day one, and that changed my life. I went to school every day, which wasn't something I really experienced before, and having a loving environment all the time. So if I was at school, the teachers were very loving and reassuring. If I was at home, there was a lot of love and reassurance. And so I think slowly that built a trust that I never had in adults. I was put on the horse crew one year, and that was amazing. I had never worked with animals at all. That's something I never imagined I would be able to participate in. And so that was something that I was very thankful for. And then the relationships I built while I was on the radio, they placed a lot of trust in me to be on the radio. There weren't a lot of students at the time that were, and I really, really enjoyed that. Met my husband here at French Camp. He was working at Camp of the Rising Sun. We started dating and we got married in 2001. We have 3 children. My children are so far removed from the cycle of my childhood that they don't even understand it. It's very hard for them to even understand what I'm talking about when I talk about my past because their life has been so different. French Camp is important because kids need stability, and our society lacks that today. They need to see the biblical model of a wife and a husband working together, supporting their children. And that's not something that most children are experiencing in the world today. And so that model is what God gave for a reason. I think He gave it to point back to Himself. This is a place where children can come from those situations where they have no stability, and they get that stability. That's what French Camp is about.